It's almost here. The biggest update to Cyberpunk 2077 we have seen to date. Let's be real. Cyberpunk started off bad. Well, bad is an understatement. It started off horribly, okay? The game was a buggy mess. But over the years, CD Projekt Red has legitimately taken huge steps into making the game actually good and playable. And well, this is just one more step.
Cyberpunk 2077's massive 2.0 update may be dropping in just 2 days. Earlier today, CDPR announced that Night City Wire is coming back, perhaps for its final episode ever. This Thursday, September 14th, CDPR will be streaming the new Night City Wire live on both YouTube and Twitch, and during this they described talking about new radios, learning more about Solomon Reed, and learning this from Idris Elba himself.
Hey, new radios. Very cool. Let's be honest. The best part about Vice City was the radios, okay? The best part about almost any GTA was the radios. So that's a big deal. Also, Idris Elba is cool.
So likely he will have a segment during the stream, and overall they're going to talk about gameplay and some of the new abilities coming with the expansion. So it'll be a pretty cool new deep dive into Phantom Liberty, giving us some updates and previews of what's to come. Although they also mentioned that there's going to be a surprise or two, and I suspect what is happening here is patch 2.0 will be dropping for Cyberpunk 2077 right after the stream. But I mean, yeah, they literally said a surprise.
I mean, that would make sense. You generate hype with the stream, and then you generate even more hype with that. And Cyberpunk does definitely need some hype at this point.
Or 2. Definitely seems like this is a reference to patch 2.0. This entire patch 2.0 scenario is a bit of a bizarre one. Basically, patch 2.0 is a near comprehensive overhaul for Cyberpunk 2077. And this is, of course, going to be a totally free update for the game that is completely separate from Phantom Liberty. With patch 2.0, CDPR is increased.
True, but this is the part that I don't like about this. The fact that Phantom Liberty is a paid DLC. Yeah, again, I said this before, I'll say it again. Considering the state and all the broken promises Cyberpunk had when it released, it doesn't sit right to me that they actually, like, you know, are gonna release an expansion like Phantom Liberty while the game has taken strides to become better, and now most people would actually enjoy the game who quit because it was too much of a buggy mess at the start. But still, coming back and paying again after the first initial experience was not delivered at all kind of feels a bit bad to me, but you know, I guess the fans won't probably mind, but you know, for returning people, is it enough? I don't know. I think it definitely leaves a sour taste in my mouth.
Facing the system requirements for PC users. So as such, they legally must give you a 90-day notice that the game's going to be harder to run. Because for a fair few out there, you might own Cyberpunk and all of a sudden your PC is no longer within the minimum system requirements. Or at least after this update, your PC will no longer be in the minimum system requirements.
Kind of bad also.
So CDPR gave out a 90-day notice, and that 90-day notice was given 91 days ago. So we just entered into the window where patch 2.0 could finally release legally. And CDPR has on several occasions in the past surprise dropped new updates for Cyberpunk immediately after a stream. Most of the time this was done immediately after a Red stream, and based off this track record.
Now, honestly, that sounds bad. That suddenly people who could play the game previously, even on lowest graphics settings, can't play it now. That does sound bad, without question, but is that actually going to be a big problem considering, well, most likely the people who bought Cyberpunk have, like, pretty much end-of-the-line hardware on their computers. So, I don't think that's going to be probably the biggest issue. It will affect people for sure, but it's not going to be the end-of-the-world type of scenario, probably.
It seems very likely that patch 2.0 could be dropping immediately after this Night City Wire stream on Thursday. And at the very least, we'll almost certainly be getting a release date for patch 2.0 there. We have had it confirmed that this update is dropping before Phantom Liberty. Patch 2.0 drops before the expansion, but also that this week a release date for the update would be shared. Phantom Liberty is 2 weeks away, and this update has to drop at some point before that. So of course, given the tweet, given their past track record, this Thursday seems like the most most obvious candidate. But at worst, even if it doesn't drop on Thursday, we'll get a release date then, and if anything, I wouldn't be shocked if early next week is the release date at the absolute latest. And with this in mind, prepare your game. Whether this be backing things up if you have a ton of mods installed, because I bet nearly all of those are about to break once this update goes live, or if you're going to be starting a new playthrough with Phantom Liberty, perhaps say a nice goodbye to your favorite characters. But you don't need to do that necessarily. CDPR recognizes that a lot of fans are going to be returning with old characters when it comes for this new expansion and update, and there's actually systems being set up to aid this. It's going to confirm that there's going to be a one-time option to reset all of your attribute points once this update drops. The entire skill system is getting reworked, so CDPR is giving you that one-time opportunity to fully start fresh. All of the perks are already resettable, and even with patch 2.0, you'll be able to reset your perks at any given time. So pick a perk, and then if you don't like it, you could just reset that point and spend it elsewhere. But perhaps you're tired of your old character and you really just want to start fresh. Well, CDPR has also described a new start option with Phantom Liberty. So as you're creating a character, you're going to be able to skip far enough into the game to experience the new story content right away. Although honestly, I think the best way to experience this is start a new playthrough once patch 2.0 drops and get far enough into the game that a week or a week and a half later, you're ready for Phantom Liberty. It's been confirmed you need to pass this Voodoo Boys quest in order for Phantom Liberty to kick off. Because yeah, even before Phantom Liberty, with just update 2.0, Cyberpunk 2077 is getting a massive overhaul. Recently, CDPR shared this great breakdown of which features will be a part of update 2.0 compared to which are a part of Phantom Liberty, basically giving us
Dogtown, brand new storyline, new quests, gigs, boss fights, and more vehicle missions and airdrops, all new relic skill tree. Yeah, the relic skill tree is gonna be the one that makes people pissed. Because that's a big deal. That's a big deal. 100 new items, weapons, cyberware, cars, fashion. Fashion doesn't matter. Cars, well, vehicles are gonna be bigger now. Vehicle missile launchers. Do you really have to put that like a separate thing? Level cap is increased to 60. Ooh, that's gonna be also locked. Ouch. Yeah. So this is. They understand that, you know, the relic skill tree is gonna be the big one, the biggest one, and the level cap is gonna be the big thing that people want. And yeah, you know, this is gonna push people to buy it. But if they wanted to escape any people being too pissed about the situation, they should have put the relic. Well, the relic skill tree is literally in the storyline. It's literally access through the storyline. So I guess, but you know, still, you know, people. If they could put this in the free update part, that would have been amazing. People would not be pissed, and people would still buy the expansion. But yeah, this is like a hardcore push.
Us a preview of what are going to be paid versus free features on the horizon. And some of these free features will still be massive in gameplay terms. The redesigned skills and perks are a huge one. CDPR shared quite a bit about this during their last Red stream. So after patch 2.0, perks in Cyberpunk are going to have a clear focus on adding in new abilities to your character as opposed to just being stat bonuses. Patch 2.0 will have a lot of new and unique mechanics that you can use and abuse in gameplay. The cyberware overhaul is also going to be a free addition. Cyberware will now have capacity limits, which can be boosted up with perks, but cyberware will also act as your armor now, so most clothing in the game will be purely for looks, while cyberware is how you truly protect yourself.
Oh, I mean,
what I think will
that part doesn't make a lot of sense. Obviously, you know, I think you should be able to get armor from, you know, basic clothing. Like, come on.
Being the two biggest new features that users are going to want to mess with once this update ships is the police rework and vehicle combat. As you get wanted now, police will show up in vehicles with enhanced AI. You can get into full-scale car chases, and police will even attack you while you're on the move. This could be via vehicles with built-in weapons, just police shooting out the window, or even setting up things like roadblocks to stop you. All the while, you'll have some vehicle weaponry of your own to use. You could fire out of your own car, or alternatively switch to built-in weapons for
I wonder if this is gonna be screwed up when Max Tech shows up.
To stop you. All the while, you'll have some vehicle weaponry of your own to use.
Yeah, I wonder if this is gonna be bad. I really wonder how bad this is gonna be. Or is it gonna be good? Because as far as I have seen, it's like, okay, the thing lands, and then it's like 15 seconds until they actually jump off, and then each of them uses some kind of ability, and it's like, well, okay, you sprinted there, then there, then there, then back. Didn't accomplish a lot there, Chief. Is that really useful? You know? Dude, if you have 5 stars, I think these guys should be an actual super big deal. Not like, kind of like, eh.
You could fire out of your own car or alternatively switch to built-in weapons for your vehicles, although it does seem like these missile launchers will be a Phantom Liberty exclusive feature, but there'll also be some new functionality giving you the ability to hack other cars in Night City, which just sounds absolutely epic. And if you do make it all the way up to 5 stars, the new max tack are going to be a true mini boss fight now. Although another free feature that I think a lot of people are missing
this is the thing. Look, they still haven't dropped.
Radio stations.
Yeah. And now they drop. It's a bit dumb considering these guys are kind of supposed to survive a fall from like a skyscraper, almost kind of a deal. I don't know. I don't think they're gonna be deadly enough or honestly interesting enough. That's my concern.
With patch 2.0, we're getting a new radio station hosted by Sasha Gray, and all of the music created for this one came from the community contest. I'm really excited to finally hear the new host as well as all of the new tracks that have been added, and right now it's basically like we're getting 2 waves of new content for Cyberpunk. Update 2.0 likely dropping in the next couple of days or even early next week, but then a week or so later you'll also get Phantom Liberty dropping with all of its glory and a second wave of new features, but of course also the full-fledged new questline and district to explore. It certainly is an odd launch strategy to have these 2 major content drops releasing about a week apart, but at the same time, with how much content we're getting, I kind of understand the reasoning. It really does seem like patch 2.0 is going to have more than enough content to keep us occupied for a week until the expansion gets here. But perhaps you're still on the fence with Phantom Liberty, and I mean, hey, if you haven't purchased the expansion yet, you can get it on GOG using my affiliate link down below, but maybe save that link, as we have also heard during the recent earnings call that reviewers will be getting access to Phantom Liberty right around now. We can see on SteamDB that a press branch for the expansion is available, and this was seemingly updated around a week ago, which is likely around when the first...
Okay, getting a press branch, but can you actually show, you know? I'm not sure if I'm not sure getting a press release is the same as showing it in this situation, so questions.
Code started going out, and I wouldn't be shocked if some major outlets are reviewing the expansion as we speak, which should give you the opportunity to be an informed consumer ahead of the expansion's release, which is always good. With the original release of Cyberpunk, CDPR had this really bizarre and short review window, but we're still several weeks out from Phantom Liberty, and seemingly reviews are being started, so that's a really good sign.
Yeah,
although,
true.
Make sure you actually are...
But when will they be able to actually drop the reviews? Because if it's a Starfield situation 5 seconds before the game launches, that's bad. That's really bad.
Ready for all of this. Another member of CDPR did issue a warning on Twitter that you should check the conditions of your PC's cooling system before this update and expansion drops. They describe how this new update is going to actually use all your PC has to offer, and using 90% of your 8-core CPU is fully expected here. It seems like those raised system requirements for patch 2.0 are no joke, and if you no longer meet the minimum requirements, now is definitely the time for...
Let's see, do I have a Core I? I have no idea what I actually have.
A PC upgrade if you want to be playing on release day. But even beyond all of that, we have gotten new details and gameplay of Phantom Liberty even now. CDPR has been dropping these short clips of Phantom Liberty very nicely edited together, but we also...
I mean, these clips look actually pretty solid, I'm not gonna lie. But, you know, again, we have seen this play out looking pretty solidly before, and has not necessarily always been a good thing.
So have it confirmed that Lizzie Wizzy will seemingly be a part of Phantom Liberty in a fairly major way. CDPR just shared this special headgear that Lizzie Wizzy is going to use in-game. If you're not familiar, Lizzie Wizzy is a musical artist and one of the most famous people in all of Night City, and I'm honestly pretty hyped that we will seemingly be meeting them more properly in Phantom Liberty, and I personally hope that this headgear is going to be lootable from her corpse. But Cyberpunk 2077...
I mean, that's the right take you have there, okay?
Itself just crossed a monumental milestone with over 500,000 positive reviews on Steam, which if you look back at where things...
I mean, it's getting there. Should it actually be at almost 80%? Honestly, probably not. Because remember, the higher this thing goes, the less incentive CD Project Red is CDPR No, you know what I mean. The less incentive they are gonna have to actually improve upon the game. So you know, actually, you should probably delete your positive review if you want the game to be better.
Began for this game to where we are now, just 2 weeks out from the final chapter of it. It's pretty surreal.
Also, chances are they have internally set that, you know, they are following these scores because they have set themselves a target. Like, we're going to stop fixing the game, we're going to stop improving the game when we reach a certain milestone. For example, 80%. So, again, you should if you like the game, you should legitimately be reviewing it negatively so they keep fixing it. We do not live in a world where you actually gain anything by being nice to people who make the game. Okay, I know it's a doomery point of view and whatever, but it's true. You do not get a lot by saying, "Yeah, Blizzard, you did good." Well, Blizzard never does good, but you get the point. By commenting that the devs are good and the devs just did a good thing, it's just gonna give them justification to not do good in the future or do less good in the future. But saying fix this shit now actually gets results.
To see. This game's been a complete roller coaster to cover, and it's honestly remarkable to think about the turnaround CDPR was able to produce here. And with that in mind, get subscribed. I'll have full coverage of all of the new details we learn about the updates and the game.
Well, that was Juicehead. Anyway, this was Sensei. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.